is my worst and best Amazing Why Gumball Season 3 episodes. But before we start though, there are a few episodes that didn't reach the top 3 best list, but I still want to mention that anyway. The first one is the puppy. Not only did this episode introduce us to the evil turtle, but also the Asa store, a band that was associated years later in the series. Next up, we have the friend. You thought Naive isn't my favorite out of the worst. I do sympathize with her not having any friends, and this episode perfectly shows why. And this last album message is gonna be controversial, but it's the snow. Yes, this episode does have a good message about being yourself with paying with being your true self to your boyfriend. But I do think there are 3 episodes that deserve the top 3 best more than this. And well, that being said, let's start the worst list. Number 3 worst, the society. Man, what happened to Gumball? By season 3, we should all know the cast's personalities by now. Anais is a young genius, Nicholas and Mara that you shouldn't mess with, and that is that one kind person who says their services for the last season. For Gumball, he's a third with a hard goal. But what if I tell you that at one point, he had to fall back into his season 1 self? Now that would be so silly, but unfortunately, it did happen with the society. No doubt, Gumball said annoys the heck out of me, but he seriously thought that his rightful presence for attending the school staff was part of a secret society's plan. And he thought that he could prove his existence by being disruptive and nuisance to people. What are you doing, Gumball? Find that secret society. There is no secret society, Gumball. You're just being a nuisance. See? Even Thor knows that his plan has gone too far. And do we really need to see this scene? You know Gumball is that kind of fool when those guys have to play along with his nonsense. And the worst part of all, he did like anything in the end. Gumball, you're better than that. Number 3 best, the password. Now this is a funny episode. So it turns out that Wizard's favorite child is Anais. Well, he teased favorites on me and didn't tell his family about it. Anyway, Gumball thought they need to prove that he served their dad's affection, and they did it the worst way possible. See, this is how you do I say episode 1 to society. You don't need to combine a character's personality for it. You just need to worry about it instead. But eventually, Wizard got so fat with his sons that he grounded them. Wait, I know that is Nicholas' doing, but that right there is good character development. Good job! But the password clicking goes off the rails when Gumball started to Wizard that he's not their favorite parent, which leads to this wild tease of wild times with are their affection.
Richard, parenting is not a competition.
A few moments later.
Boys, I'm getting you a new computer!
Oh, no, you're not.
Why not?
Because I'm gonna do it first!
Nico, you hypocrite! And that right there is what I call chaotic Gumball time! But you wanna know what's even wilder than that? Well, it turns out that Naive wasn't Wizard's favorite child after episodes for Anna used to have to appear all to herself. Now, let's move on before I pass out for laughter. Number 2, worse, the fan. You said see it when you had to deal with excessive fan, right? Well, for Gumball Darwin, they had to deal with Sarah. Sarah's ineffective to these two is always disturbing enough, but Gumball made this worse by suggesting that she should be a stalker. I say it with the dress, I'll say it with the fan. Stalking is not fighting in any way. It just makes me feel sad for the bit they stand. Man, I wish Gumball Darwin put Sarah away for once.
No, Sarah, this is the part of the story where you realize there is no story, and you leave us alone.
Oh, yeah, sure.
They actually did it? Well, I said I never doubted you two. I guess the episode's gonna end now.
No, she really cares about us, and we just pushed her away. Look at this.
The Amazing Adventures of Gumball, Darwin, and Sarah. Oh man, all she ever wanted was to be included.
What? No, I'm not happy society here where I buy it and smell your clothes. Are you sure that Sarah isn't guilt-worthy, you guys? I hope Gumball Darwin finally sway on her because I can't take it anymore. Number 2, best, the name. Have you ever wondered what Gumball's real name is? Well, the name reveals that it's Snack at the beginning. Wow, that was anticlimactic. I wonder what the rest of the episode's about then.
Watch out!
Oh, I see what is going on here. So we were back in number 3 words where I mentioned that Gumball is a giant with hard gold. Well, it turns out that he's actually a complete giant after all. I thought we'd be over this, Gumball.
Look at yourself. You're such a jerk now. You started popping your collar.
How did that happen?
What? You seriously don't remember? It's Zach. Zach is taking over.
No, this can't be happening. Yeah, line. It turns out that Gumball wanted to have a secret evil alter called Snack, who is not only a jerk, but also wants full control of his body. And the only way for Gumball to defeat him is to go inside his mind. Well, what is this? Total All-Stars? And what is this one Gumball so bad in the whole season? Is Gumball like... Man, that should be my greatest reaction ever. For that, the name goes into my top 3 best list automatically. But there is another good thing about the name though. It shows that Gumball do care about his friends and family, unlike Snack. Something tells me that this episode may have been a commentary on Gumball's behavior last season. If that's true, then good, because I can't stand certain season 2 episodes with him around. But yeah, I still can't get over this coincidence though. Number 1 worse. The S was. You want to know what's worse than throwing away a perfectly good model? How a one that doesn't need to exist at all? Why, I get that these background characters wanted to have the spotlight for once, but I think that was a mistake. No joke, the S-Was is just a compilation of boring moments. At least I felt something about the society and the fan. And you want to know what's the worst part of the episode? It's that nobody cares. Aside from the Pyramids and the construction man, they never had a major role in an episode ever again. So it's kind of funny that these black characters wanted the spotlight, but then disappeared for the rest of the series. But unfortunately, our Wire Giant doesn't excuse the Elseworlds by being the worst season 3 episode, though. Now, if you can excuse me, I'll go watch the first segment again. It's the only one out of the bus that doesn't suck.
This bird is out of control!
Number 1 best, the Void. This is it. This is the moment you all have been waiting for. The one now that teaches how we view Gumball forever. It started in season 3. It's Molly. Yeah, what happened to Molly? She's as bad as in season 2. Well, it turns out that she's so boring that she had to be hidden from the outside world. So where's he then? Well, we're at the episode's title. It's the boy. A standard message that can only be accessed to unknowable means. And to better understand its purpose, I saw Mr. Spoon explain it.
Look, children, all the mistakes the world has ever made. Jorts, Laserdisc, the mullet.
Yeah, the boy can always anything that needs to be a mistake. And once they get there, every trace of that gets wiped. And those accused murders a lot of people. That is so dark. Hopefully I don't get set in for being autistic and have a non-attractive voice. Anyway, the basis of the boy, the place, changed the status quo forever because now we're a station ball. Like in the boy, the episode, the game can always be forgotten if they don't sleep in time. And this will be a decoy forward. Now, you might have noticed that I haven't mentioned the article or the nobody yet. Well, that's because they're related to the boy. In fact, the weather is a direct sequel where we build down line and state the place, but got despair as we result. But since I do want to have value for my top list, though, I decided to pick the boy as my number 1 best season 3 episode because it was the one that started it all. Man, Gumball is getting better and better. Let's see if season 4 can keep the momentum going.
I'm on my way!